Hello and welcome to the Monday Morning Wrap here on Sports Tree Ltd. Folks, I'm Connor Roundtree and I'm excited to say that the Monday Morning Wrap, our first season of the Monday Morning Wrap, is winding down. Just 3 episodes left. That means just 3 more chances to get in to win NHL tickets in our trivia raffle. We'll have another question for you today at the end of this show, but we have to get into our weekend wrap-up. Starting things out in the NFL, I was on the call last night for the Ravens and Browns game. The Ravens came out on top 26-10, but I have to extend a huge thank you to all of you who tuned into Colorcast and showed support. In the CFL up here in Canada, 4 teams remain in the hunt for the Grey Cup. The Toronto Argonauts will host the Hamilton Tiger Cats in the Eastern semifinal come next Sunday, and then the Saskatchewan Roughriders visit the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. In the NHL, folks, it's the Washington Capitals and the Toronto Maple Leafs who are sitting on top of the league with 33 points apiece. Out west, it's the Edmonton Oilers leading the way with 30 points through 20 games played. As for Major League Soccer, folks, the playoffs continue on Tuesday. The New England Revolution take on New York City FC in the final semifinal matchup. Philadelphia will face the winner of that matchup, and out west, Portland will take on Real Salt Lake in the other semifinal. As for the biggest news around the NBA, folks, that leads us into our bump and stump of the week. And our bump of the week has to go to the land of the rising suns. It goes to the Phoenix Suns, and those Suns are ever rising. They've won 16 consecutive games, now improved to 17-3 through their first 20 games of the season. Good enough for second place in the Western Conference. Our stump of the week has to go to Cam Newton. Just mere weeks after telling the world that he was back, his talent level was back in the dumpster, completing just 5 passes for 92 yards and 2 interceptions. 5 completed passes on 21 attempts. That is some stumpy stuff right there. Getting into our sporting menu of the week, folks, starting with our appetizer of the week, that is being served up to you by the NFL. It is Monday Night Football. This primetime matchup features 2 teams on the opposite side of the momentum spectrum. You have the lowly Seattle Seahawks taking on the red-hot Washington football team in Washington, and the Washington football team have won 2 consecutive games since their bye, posting 27 plus points in each of those contests. Through those starts, Taylor Heinicke is a perfect 2-0 with a 77.8 completion rate and is averaging over 230 pass yards per game with 4 touchdowns and no interceptions. The Seahawks, on the other hand, are 3-7 through their first 10 games. That's the worst ever start that they've had under Pete Carroll. In his past pair of starts, Russell Wilson is 0-2 with a 51.5 completion percentage and averaging just 184 yards per game. He's thrown no touchdowns and 2 interceptions with a 55.6 passer rating. That is absolutely horrendous. And as we look at these teams' defenses now, if Colt McCoy can go out and throw for 328 yards, Taylor Heinicke is going to skin you alive. He's much more versed in the quarterback position for his team, taking those starting snaps. I'm not saying that Colt McCoy is that much worse than Heinicke. I'm just saying that Colt McCoy is a backup to Kyler Murray, and Taylor Heinicke has been taking number 1 snaps this season. He's also got Scary Terry McLaurin to work with, and Scary Terry's been going off with another 100-yard receiving game just last week and tacking on a touchdown. So I have to give the offensive edge to the Washington football team and the defensive edge to them as well. Well, I do believe that Russell Wilson is better than he is performing. The momentum simply sides with Washington, and they're the underdogs entering Monday Night Football. I think this is a great play to win some money on the underdog ticket. So give me the Washington football team to win on Monday Night Football. Our entree of the week, folks, is being served up by the NHL. There are 4 games on tap in the NHL, and we are firing at a perfect 100% clip with our NHL picks this season. Well, they have been quite limited, but let's break down these 4 games for you tonight. We've got 5 picks across the 4 games, and our first pick is between the Seattle Kraken and the Buffalo Sabres. Now, the Sabres are averaging just over 2 goals a game across their last 3 games, and the Seattle Kraken have averaged exactly 2 goals a game across their last 3 games. Both these teams lack goal-scoring prowess and talent. The goals are going to be hard to come by between these 2 bottom-feeding franchises in the NHL this season, so make sure you take the under 5.5 goals. The Arizona Coyotes are in Winnipeg to take on the Jets, and this Jets team is riding high with a whole lot of confidence coming off a big win over the Calgary Flames that in turn snapped a 5-game losing skid. They got to be feeling good welcoming back the original Jets franchise in, team that's won just 4 games this season. Over 20 games played, 4 wins. You gotta like the Jets at home after snapping the losing streak and beating a very solid Calgary Flames team. In an all-Canadian matchup, folks, the Vancouver Canucks are visiting the Montreal Canadiens, and the Vancouver Canucks have been on a horrendous skid as of late. They've won just 6 games this season, they've lost 4 consecutive contests, and have just 1 win in their last 10 games. Yes, the Montreal Canadiens also have only won 6 games this season, but they're coming off a nice 6-3 win over a very solid Pittsburgh Penguin team. So give me the Montreal Canadiens to defend home ice come Monday night. Speaking of those Pittsburgh Penguins and those Calgary Flames, the Penguins are in Calgary to take on the Flames on Monday night, and the Flames have the lowest goals against average in the NHL, averaging just 2 goals against per game, and they rank tied for the 7th most goals scored per game with 3.3. So yeah, I think it's fair to say that the Flames are on fire. Red hot right now. Insert flame pun here. The Penguins have been riding the solid play of Tristan Jarry as of late, who has 3 shutouts in his last 5 starts and had that night off against Montreal when they lost 6-3. Look, I think this is going to be a low-scoring game, folks, so make sure you take the under 5.5. This will be an excellent hockey game to tune into, but I have to give the edge to the Calgary Flames at home, so give me the Flames to win, but the under 5.5 goals. All right, folks, your sporting dessert of the week is being teed up and served to you by the PGA Tour. It's the Hero World Challenge from Albany in the Bahamas, one of my favorite tournaments. No cuts, stroke play competition, 72 holes, 20 golfers, a $1 million grand prize. It doesn't get much better than that, folks, and I'm going to give you my 3 favorite picks to look out for heading into this week, along with 1 sleeper pick, and my first pick has to be Rory McIlroy. He's the betting favorite at 6.5 to 1, and it's no wonder why. McIlroy is coming off a frustrating tie for 6th at the DP World Tour Championship, where he was the 54-hole leader. This guy is an absolute gamer, and he went full incredible Hulk mode, ripping his shirt to pieces after he lost. That competitive fire, coupled with the fact that he won just 2 weeks ago and that he's in great form, has me all over this Rory McIlroy pick. My next pickup, folks, is Victor Hovland. Like Rory McIlroy, he's making his debut at Albany. The young Norwegian should be plenty of well-rested since successfully defending his title at Mayakoba, his 4th victory in the last 21 months. At 11 to 1, Hovland is a great look entering this weekend. Our third and final pick, folks, is Collin Morikawa. He's coming off a win at the 2021 Race to Dubai and is one of the purest ball strikers in the game. At 8 to 1, he may not have the best value, but he's a viable option to win this event. And our sleeper pick, folks, is the second biggest underdog in the field at 30 to 1. It is Justin Rose. For as long as Albany has hosted this event, this has been a home away from home for the Englishman. In his last 3 appearances, he's finished 3rd and has 2 5th-place ties. Let's go Justin Rose as a sleeper pick. Folks, as for your trivia question on this week's edition of the Monday Morning Wrap, we just broke down a little golf, so we have a pretty fun golf question for you. What Apollo 14 astronaut hit a golf ball on the moon? Head on over to SportsTreeLTD.com right now. Hit sign up or subscribe. And remember, an upgrading your subscription is an upgrading your chances to win tickets to see your favorite teams play live and up to $15,000 a year. Folks, I'm Connor Roundtree, and that's a wrap. Order up.